Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I hope you are having a fantastic day. In this video, I want to share a post-burn review of HomeWorx Black Pumpkin Woods. I have this in the 3-wick faceted glass format, but this is also available in a 4-wick format over on QVC. It's available in a duo with another fragrance, which the name of it is escaping me right now. So I'll put a little annotation. And then of course I will have both options linked for you in the description box below this video. You can find this version over on the Rakuten & Co website. If you are ordering from Rakuten & Co, you can use my discount code MelanieP to save yourself a little bit of extra money. And over on QVC, if you are interested in the duo over there, that's actually on sale this weekend. So if you are really interested in the other fragrance, I would almost say go buy the QVC duo, because this is an absolutely beautiful scent, but I really think that I would personally prefer it in the 4-wick format. This one has done just fine. I've been burning it all week. In fact, this is my very last burn. I went through this one really quickly because I was just burning it day after day. This fragrance is not new for HomeWorx. This has been released in the past, but it kind of intimidated me the first time it came out because of specifically the charred firewood note that's in here. Turns out it's actually not super aggressively smoky. It's just kind of perfectly smoky. So if you are a little intimidated by that charred firewood note, I would say, I think it's worth giving a chance, but I would probably say get it in the 4-wick format. And the price point over on QVC is actually pretty decent for the duo, I would say. I'm not sure if there is free shipping this weekend. Maybe you want to wait for a free shipping weekend, but the price point, the sale price point is pretty decent right now for the duo that's available over there. So anyway, I'm excited to share this one with you guys. This 3-wick format here is, the burn time here is between 20 and 40 hours. I would say that I am probably like somewhere around 30 to maybe like 35 hours. So I definitely didn't get 20 hours this, but I definitely didn't get 40 hours out of it either. So, oh, there's Alf. I don't know who he's barking at, but we're just gonna let him do his thing. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive into this really beautiful, slightly smoky, fruity pumpkin scent. You guys, this is a good one. So let's dive into it. Let's get started by reading through the scent story. Beware as you venture into the darkness of Black Pumpkin Woods, where pumpkin puree is whipped with black plums and deep malt spices that are slowly roasted over charred firewood, creating a mystifying scent. The top notes here are mulled spices, harvest apple, and black currant. For the middle notes, we have pumpkin puree, black plum, and buttered rum. And then at the base, we have cinnamon bark, charred firewood, and vanilla bean. All right, so what do I smell here? First of all, there is a definite apple note here. It's not an overly sweet apple, and I would say it almost smells like a borderline baked apple note. Really pleasant, really enjoyable. I do smell the traditional, mulled spices. So we've got some cinnamon here. We've got a little bit of clove. I feel like I also smell some star anise in here, maybe a little bit of cardamom. Just a really pleasant, but not overly aggressive spice blend. And it pairs perfectly with the apple note here. Love the black currant. it's very distinctly blackcurrant. I feel like, to my nose, red currant has a lot more tartness to it, and blackcurrant is a little bit more sweet, a little bit deeper. I much prefer black currant myself over red currant, but I also have some negative like scent memory triggers that kind of pop up for me with red currant. So I am glad that this is very distinctly black currant here. In terms of the pumpkin, do you get a solid pumpkin, like whipped pumpkin note? I do think there is a creamy pumpkin note here, but I actually feel like the apple is a little bit more prominent than the pumpkin. I get a nice hint of a black plum. That plum is, again, just adding a little bit of tartness, a little bit more sweetness, and that really beautiful, you know, just deep, dark plum note fits in perfectly with everything that I've mentioned so far and the rest of the notes that we're going to be going through here. I would say the only thing that I don't really detect, that my nose just does not pick up, is that buttered rum note. I don't get anything remotely related to buttered plum. So I can't really attest to that. You might smell it, I do not. Nothing boozy about this one at all. The base, the cinnamon bark. I was a little nervous about the cinnamon bark in the past as well, because I was thinking that maybe it might lean a little too spicy for my nose, but it doesn't. It's actually a really like soft cinnamon bark note. It's not nearly as strong as I would say the cinnamon bark is in Bath & Body Works Cranberry Woods. Now let's get into this charred firewood note, because this is where I think Harry has executed this particular fragrance really well. It is not overly smoky. I am now getting into these slightly smokier scents, but I'm not like, it's still not my favorite category, right? So I feel like it has to be done in a subtle way for me to really be able to enjoy it, if that makes sense. Love this charred wood note. I wouldn't say it's like a specific like oak or mahogany or ipe or, you know, whatever other wood that you might be thinking. It's not specific to like a type of wood. It's just kind of a generic, slightly smoky, like ember type of fragrance. Really well done. And it's only, I would say, about maybe 15% of the fragrance. Honestly, the main star here for me are the fruit notes that are mentioned, and the spices. They just blend incredibly well together. And I feel like that smoky ember note just kind of gives it a little bit of an evening, fall, maybe borderline spooky kind of vibe. But yeah, it's a really pleasant fragrance. This is, you know, obviously from their Halloween collection here. But this is not like an overly Halloween-like scent to my nose. It just kind of smells like a fall fragrance that is enjoyable in the like later months of the fall. So like October into November, when it really starts cooling down outside, like this would be the perfect fragrance for those like much colder days as we get deeper into fall. The vanilla bean. There is a little bit of a creaminess here from vanilla, I guess you could say. It kind of, I think, blends in a little bit with that pumpkin puree note. So yeah, there's a creaminess, and I'm gonna say that that is coming from the pumpkin puree, maybe mixed with that vanilla bean note. But in terms of the fragrance, you guys, this is beautiful. It is not overly smoky. It's not like aggressive. I'm really starting to appreciate these smokier scents, but I am still a little more picky about them. And I cannot say enough good things about this particular like smoky note here. It is really, really pleasant. Let's dig into the strength and throw. All right, so, and I'm just like referring to this 3-wick format that I have here. It might be that the 4-wick is stronger. I'm gonna assume that it probably does have just a little more oomph to it, because that is typically my experience. I'm not a huge fan of the 3-wick format from HomeWorx, but I do know there are a lot of people that do enjoy the 3 wicks. So if that is you, you might want to go for this version here. So the strength of the 3 wick version here, I would say, is probably, it kind of waffled between a 6 and a 7. Honestly, for this last burn here, it's a good solid 6. But when I first got started with this one, when there was a lot more wax, it was definitely a little bit closer to a 7. The throw, that I would say at best has been about a 6. Absolutely fills the immediate area where you're burning it. It does spill out into some, other rooms, but it certainly doesn't fill half of the downstairs of my house. I've kind of burned this all over the place, and where I really enjoyed it the most was actually our downstairs powder room. Now, I think it was maybe a little bit too strong for that area, but it really allowed me to almost concentrate the fragrance, and it was really enjoyable. But I wouldn't recommend using this in a powder room. I think it's a little too strong for that, but it's also probably, this size here is not going to be the best for those with a more open concept type of situation. If that is your situation at your house, you might want to go for the 4 wick. For me personally, I have better luck with my open concept floor plan with the 4 wicks than I do with the 3 wicks. So decent strength and throw here. Nothing, overly outrageous in terms of that, but a good solid performer. I will say, I do love this black glass. It's really, really pretty. In fact, my daughter would like to have this one when I'm done to put her makeup brushes in. So I'm gonna clean this out for Stella after it's all finished. But yeah, it's a beautiful vessel. This wait, what are they calling this again? The etched faceted glass. They're calling this the faceted glass. It's not etched, that's totally different. But yeah, this faceted glass collection I think has always been really beautiful. I don't know. I love the hobnail design that Harry has done a multitude of times, but man, I feel like this particular faceted glass is maybe even more pretty. Let me know what your favorite specialty glass has been from HomeWorx so far. Like I said, for me, I feel like I kind of waffle between the hobnail and this faceted. They've also had some other beautiful designs as well. There's many to choose from, but I would say those two are probably my personal faves. So in terms of the overall burn quality, you guys, I've had no issues with this. No issues with the wicks, no issues with the burn, no issues with, well, I guess I can't really say much about discoloration because as you'll see here in a second, the wax is black. It's black wax. So I don't know, it could be discolored. I don't know. It doesn't smell like it is. The wicks have done great. I have burned this for about 3 to sometimes 4 hours at a time, but typically with HomeWorx, I stick to right around 3.5 hours. And that has been a great burn time. I mean, I'm really pleased with this one and I would highly recommend it. If you're looking for some Halloween type fragrances from HomeWorx, I would say this is a good one to check out. The Halloween fragrances that you're gonna find at HomeWorx are a little bit more subdued than, for example, what you would find with the Kringle Black Jar collection. Those fragrances are a little bit more interesting. This is maybe a little bit more of a classic later fall type of fragrance. But I do think that, that chart would note kind of leans towards that. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the overhead view here. I just lit this right before beginning to film, so this has maybe been lit for about 15 minutes. I'm not sure if it has completely pulled out, but let's take a look so that you can see how this, oh yeah, almost pulled out here. Probably got about another 15 minutes here, but yeah, check this out. We're on the last burn here. So nice clean burn all the way down. It's hard to tell with the black glass here, but yeah, I've not had any smoking or, like I said, the wicks have not deteriorated in any kind of way. They're pretty solid. I haven't even trimmed them between each burn. I would say after about the halfway point, I stopped. Sorry, I'm trying to maneuver around both pugs, which are underneath my feet right now. I have, now I forgot what I was gonna say. I just had a total brain fart. Never mind, guess it wasn't that important. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys being here. Let me know your thoughts on this one. Like I said, it's been out before, so I'm willing to venture that a few of you have had this in the past. I'd love to know your thoughts on it in the comments down below. Yeah, and let me know which version you would prefer. As much as I love this black glass, I think that I love the HomeWorx more. So for what it's worth, those are my thoughts on this Halloween fragrance. I do have one more to review for you, but I actually haven't lit it up yet. So you'll see that other review probably in about a week or so. Let me know if you have any questions about this one. Check out the description box for the links. I appreciate you being here, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.